Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome into the Crowded Booth. My name is Bryce Koon. Ralph Leary and Will Mannis joining me here in just a second as we get ready to talk about what is a loaded SEC slate, a loaded Big Ten slate, and I guess the second edition of a potential separation Saturday. Who can establish themselves early on in conference races in the Big Two leagues? That and more on tonight's episode of the Crowded Booth.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. Coming on the Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.
All right, happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Bryce Koon. I've got Ralph Leary and I've got Will Mannis on the show tonight, as always, as we get ready to talk about week number 7 of college football. Fellas, great conversation to open up Sunday night show. Fighting necklaces. What were the other topics of conversation? The iPod shuffles and nanos and
your first phone,
the Juke. Yeah, the first phone we had. It was a lot of fun, and it was good stuff, and that's why people want to watch the show. So we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe as well on all those platforms. Continue to get those listens up as well, which, hey, we appreciate it there as well. Also, new sponsor on tap that will be getting into the fold next week. Excited about that, so thanks so much. And if you're interested in getting a sponsorship or a partnership here on the show, you can email us at thecrowdedbooth@gmail.com. All right, it's a big week. SEC and Big Ten going at it in terms of their respective conferences. I guess I hesitate, guys, to use the term separation Saturday because with the 12-team playoff, like you're not really separating yourself from an opportunity to make the playoff. More, I guess, to get one of those top seeds, represent yourself in the conference title game, which do you really want to do that? Ralph, I'll start with you. Do you view these big weekends? We had one, obviously, 3 weeks ago? Do you view these big weekends as less important, or as a fan, are you just like, hey, I enjoy it and I'm pumped to watch all the games?
It's kind of both, though, isn't it? I mean, you're excited to watch some of the best games, the best teams play against each other, but it's important because it sets the tone for your conference play. Some of these teams, you go back 2 weeks ago when we had this first week, Alabama, Georgia, and Penn State, Oregon. You see teams either grow from that loss or collapse. Obviously, Penn State collapsed last week, and then Georgia will build off that loss against Alabama. They did very well against Kentucky, and Alabama's obviously getting better every week. It's just some of these games you see, and you find out what this really teams are about, and. Alabama getting the season off with a loss to Florida State. We all thought that the season was already over for them, and they've stormed right back into the playoff race again. And it goes to show you that these weeks are important. Every week's an important week, no matter who you're playing against, and you take advantage of I don't want to say the opportunities, but like the chances of playing the big teams on the road or at home. Mm-hmm. You take this every week seriously because any week something can happen. Because the team in front of you who's in the rankings who may be higher because they're undefeated could go down on the 1 week and you're jumping right ahead of them the next week because they lost.
Brian Kelly said something this week that I think resonates throughout the college football world is that we're getting really click happy in terms of saying, hey, this team's bad, this team's really, really good, and with the way that, competitively balanced how college football is, SEC, Big Ten, even the ACC being as kind of chaotic as it is this year, we think we know things heading into the season, and there's some things that pop up. There's surprises. There's big disappointments. We obviously had those within the SEC, and we'll see what happens, but it is different. Will, for you, do you feel like anything, and I know where we're going with this, do you feel like anything in the preseason has just been spot on outside of your Auburn Tigers? You feel like anything is just, hey, that was –
I think I've been the only person that's been spot on with my Auburn prediction.
Outside of Auburn, I'll give you that. Like, is there something that you're like, hey, this makes a lot of sense of where, of where this team is? It lines up with what the preview magazines say.
The only one might be Texas Tech. I mean, they've really been the only team that really has had any expectation in the preseason. With all the talk of all the money they spent, and then showing that it was money well spent, because I think they've been as advertised. I think they're a little bit underrated at this point, but the AP poll has shown it is a worthless metric that we should probably just stop looking at altogether.
Yeah, I think in terms of that's good. Like, who is properly where they were? Ralph, do you have one off the top of your head? Like, who's a team that you're like, yeah, the preview magazines, the previews we did, they're matching up with their preseason expectations?
Is it bad to say Miami? Because we kind of expect them to be really good this year. And, we kind of really wanted to see what they were like against week 1 against Notre Dame. And that was kind of the tell if they're going to be good or not this year. And obviously bringing Carson Beck in there, and their defense has been really good, and offensive line's been great for them. So, I mean, I put Miami right where Will said. I mean, it's been kind of on par with what they said. I don't. Yeah, you can go around the country. You probably one thing you would say like Ohio State possibly.
Yeah, Ohio State, Miami. I like those picks. I don't want to say Oregon because I don't know. I think people were like hesitant to say they were going to be one of the better teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were going to be really good. We knew that, but just in terms of what they've shown so far, preseason, I would probably say, and this is going to alarm the fan bases that like to watch this show. I kind of think Georgia is exactly where people thought they were. Now, when I say people thought they were, I'm not talking about Georgia Super Dog Fan 37 on Twitter or on the Dog Vent message board. I'm saying more of like, hey, you think you've got some questions answered at receiver. Gunnar Stockton's working his way in. Defensively, there were some question marks coming in about that front. Like, is it going to be as good as it has been? And I think they've just kind of been, like, if you would have told Georgia fans heading into Auburn you're going to have one loss, it's going to be to Bama, they probably wouldn't have liked it. But I think they would have been like, that checks out. That makes sense.
I think another one was A&M. Matt put it in the comments, but yeah, Texas A&M has been really good this year, and I feel like they're just getting better per week, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's good stuff though. It's an interesting question. Who is on par with pretty much preseason expectations? I also throw, I guess, Georgia Tech in there. Like, I mean, a lot of people were kind of interested in what they could do with.
You spend
8 to 9 wins.
Much time in the Discord.
Well, I mean, 8 to 9 wins, and they're on track for that, right? I mean,
yeah.
A lot of people were like, yeah, they could probably exceed that. Florida State's been a surprise. Who's been a surprise?
Virginia, for one.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing some good football lately. A big win against Louisville last week. Obviously, the Florida State upset. They're playing good football. Their only loss is to NC State in a non-conference game. I mean, think about it. It's crazy how good they've been.
Will, who you got? Who's been just a surprise, whether it's good or bad, I guess?
Oh, good Lord.
I mean, obviously Texas is there. Penn State's an obvious one too, but like outside of those. Are you surprised at Tennessee, or are they just kind of at what they were?
No, I guess they're a little better than I thought they would be, but
2 SEC teams jump out to me. I'll say that.
I don't know. It may just could be just the negative cloud that I live in. I'm not going to say Auburn. Actually, I'm going to say UAB because they are fighting for the worst program in the country. They really are.
I think you sent it today, Will, the TrentDilferSucks.com website.
Yes.
Did you go read the link for it?
I hadn't read it yet.
It's actually in depth of like why they've been so bad with him there. It's really funny. It's actually impressive.
2 SEC teams for me, surprises. Probably one of the biggest surprises in college football, I think, is Mississippi State. Yeah. Jeff Levy's done a really, really good job of turning it around. Like, I don't know how good they're going to be, but they're night and day different from how they were last year. And then I would also throw Missouri in there. We're going to talk about them later in the show. Like, the way that they've reloaded offensively, Ahmad Hardy has been a nice, pleasant surprise in college football. Beau Pribula looks like the guy that should be starting in Happy Valley for them. So, a lot of things, I think.
I'll throw in another bad one.
You're throwing another bad one? Surprisingly bad? Who is it?
Yeah, and it hurts me to say it.
Army?
Georgia State.
Oh boy.
They are.
They're bad.
Very bad. They're very bad.
Can I have one in there, but just kind of like one group of that team? LSU's offense has been really bad.
Oh, yes.
I mean, the defense has been great to watch, but
you're learning what it looks like when you try to throw with a torn oblique.
Yeah.
Micro tears. Get it right, dude.
No.
Okay, so he lifts weights.
I don't know what he does, to be honest with you.
I don't want to talk about
Powerade commercials. I know that much. But hey, no, we appreciate you tuning in. That's a little opening fodder for you there in the beginning of the podcast. Let's talk about these games. It's a loaded slate. So let's go to the first one here, Ralph. You just throw it up and we will go there. Dr. Bob says Clemson's also a big disappointment. Yeah. Oh, Clemson, Penn State, and Texas are the three biggest disappointments in college football.
Yeah, don't be surprised when you look up and Clemson's won 9 or 10 games.
Yeah.
Do not be surprised.
I will put $50 on the fact that they don't win 10 games. Let's do it.
I'll take it back.
$50. Well, they have 3 losses. So
they already have 3?
Yeah, so I mean, they got to go win. They got to win out and win a bowl game. So I will
Syracuse. So
yes. I can't count. I thought it was
Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River. What is it, Ralph?
Shootout.
Thank you. The Red River Shootout in the Cotton Bowl. Not in the month of April. We're in the month of October, which is a vastly different atmosphere over there in the heart of Texas. Let's talk about this one, fellas. Oklahoma, Texas. Texas enters as a 1.5-point favorite. This line from our friends over at FanDuel has been all over the place. Like, you talk about a line that has just shifted so much. Obviously, a lot of this is predicated on, is John Mateer going to play? Gavin, you're in the background. You can look this up. The SEC injury reports came out tonight. I don't know what it said about John Mateer, but one of the big things is Brent Venables has played this kind of coy. They've got Michael Hawkins Jr., who is a talented young quarterback in terms of his experience. John Mateer was, I think, and I don't think I'm just exaggerating here, was probably the betting odds favorite to win the Heisman before he got hurt. Like that was his status. So you lose what is perceived one of the top quarterbacks in the country. This game's always crazy to me. And I mean, just from watching this game year over year, it's really interesting. And Zach says he's questionable. Appreciate that. It's one of those things where I don't know if this is a throw the record out type of game, because I think this year's a little bit different, and I'll get to that. But typically, I think this is a throw your record out type of game. 50-50 split in the Cotton Bowl, as pure as college football gets over there in Dallas. The thing that makes the difference for me here, I don't really care who plays quarterback for Oklahoma. I don't trust Texas's offensive line. I think that is the big question mark for me in this one. The Longhorns' offensive line, I think, will struggle against Oklahoma. Brent Venables has shown to have a good game plan in every single one of their big games, and they have executed. That has been the biggest thing defensively. Offensively, you can take your lumps, but I don't think if this was the Texas team that we thought they were going to be, you probably have to go win a shootout. They're not even close to that offensively. We know about the struggles of Arch Manning. We talked about this on Sunday. I think Texas's offensive line is the weak link here. I think Oklahoma's going to have great success on Saturday. I know it's a crazy game. I know that it is a wild and wacky rivalry that has so many twists and turns. What was it, a couple of years ago? One of the teams got out to a massive lead. The other team comes back. I mean, we've seen Caleb Williams enter himself into the national spotlight in this game not more than a few years ago, a couple of years ago at this point. That being said, I'm taking Oklahoma to win this outright. I think the Sooners continue to stake their claim as one of the upper echelon teams in the SEC this season. Regardless of how you feel about Texas as an opponent, this is one both these teams are going to come play. And Texas right here, they're fighting for their lives. This is a desperate Texas team under Steve Sarkisian, which we have not seen a lot of. I'm interested to see how they respond, but I'm taking the Sooners to win this one outright. What you got, Will?
I got Oklahoma. They got the best defense in the SEC. And we saw what Texas looked like last week against one of the top defenses in the SEC in Florida. I said it Sunday night, watching Arch Manning, I thought I was watching Jackson Arnold and Auburn play because he doesn't know what he's seeing right now. I mean, he was holding the ball way too long against Florida. He's not going to have time to hold the ball that long against Oklahoma because they have, I think, the best front seven maybe in the entire country. They've certainly played like it. Mm-hmm. And like you said, Texas, bad offensive line. I think Sark is searching for answers big time, and I don't know if you're going to run against this Oklahoma front, especially in a big game like this. I would say that this game is a throw the records out type of game, but I think Oklahoma is just way too good.
We'll get to that question there, Gabrielle, at the end of the show. Appreciate you tuning in. Ralph, I mentioned it. Will mentioned it. These are types of games where you might as well scrub off the ranking next to on the icon. You might as well scrub off the records. These two teams, a lot of them are from the state of Texas. They played 7-on-7. Maybe they played against each other in high school. This is one of those where the casuals will say, well, of course Oklahoma should walk away with this. This is easy. This is an easy win. Rivalries matter. Is it enough? Is Texas have something? Can they respond and keep their playoff hopes alive on Saturday?
Well, obviously John Mateer is the big name on this injury report, but Oklahoma's also without 4 offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. That hurts their chances. It hurts them a lot, honestly, going forward. And look, Texas's defense has been okay, hasn't been great. They've shown signs of pretty solid play. I go at the Ohio State game. You give Ohio State 14 points. I mean, it wasn't a great performance, but that's one of the best offenses in the country. Beginning of the year, we thought because who they had and what they were capable of doing last year. Obviously, new quarterback, new system, but they've shown signs of improving against some of the lesser opponents. Obviously, but they're going to go against Florida last week. I lost all ability to believe in that. I thought their secondary looked terrible. They couldn't tackle. They fell down. It was pitiful. Oklahoma's front seven is going to be the reason why they win this game. They have been, like Will said, they've been one of the best defenses in the SEC. Obviously, they're probably top 2, top 3 in sacks this year. Let alone from one game alone, probably. When you have 10 in one game, you improve better than everybody else does. Texas is doubtful. CJ Baxter's doubtful. I don't think he's played much at all this year, if any. He hadn't played at all. I didn't think so.
I have no idea. Yeah.
And then Malik Muhammad is probable, and Parker Livingston is probable. It's just it feels like the Texas is missing the 3 guys they need to help them win this game. And if they're banged up still going in this game, I don't feel confident. And like you said, I don't feel confident in the Texas offensive line. And Will said Arch. I do not feel confident in this Texas offense by itself.
Steve Sarkisian said this week that he learned a lot about his quarterback and the toughness that he responded with in that second half. And we mentioned he made some good throws against Florida in that second half. You got to give him credit. He making some off-platform throws, did some things. The kid's talented, but I think, like I said, I'm going to stick with the script that I stayed with on Sunday. I think the team issues extend beyond Arch Manning for Texas. So I'm taking Oklahoma to win this one outright. Are we in agreement? Are we all 3 going Oklahoma? And is that what we're rolling with?
I'm going Oklahoma, dude. I think it's pretty set up.
Oklahoma.
Sooners over the Longhorns. Going to be a fantastic battle. Let's talk about our friends over at All Natural BS.
Talk so great about Oklahoma. Maxwell wasn't even here to hear it.
Wasn't even here to hear it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let's talk about our friends over at All Natural BS. It's the bug spray that really, really, really works. Providing effective chemical-free solutions for your home, garden, patio, tailgate. Hey, listen, we're going to be out tailgating this weekend in Baton Rouge, and you bet guarantee I'm going to bring my All Natural BS with me to keep the bugs away. Listen, it's a safe alternative to the big box store brands. You can use those, but you don't want to put your children, your dogs, your pets, your family in harm's way. Make sure to check out All Natural Bug Spray, and that really, really works, and that's no BS. Okay, let's go back here to this because, Ralph, are we dipping our toes into the loveliest village on the plains right now?
No, but we can.
Let's do that.
Do we want to do this?
I want to do this. I want to do this.
Before you said it, Will, are you prepared for this?
No, he's not.
Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and do it.
I mean, I don't know if he's frozen or if he's just that upset. So, Georgia minus 3.5 against Auburn. I'm just going to kick it off right here. So, Gavin, go ahead and let's go ahead and clip this. I think there are 3 advantages for Auburn in this game, and I think none of them have to do.
That's 3 too many.
Well, listen, I think that there's 3 advantages for Auburn in this football game, and I think none of the 3 have to do with anything on the field. It's a night game at Jordan-Hare. There's an advantage for Auburn. They're retiring Cam Newton's jersey. There's an advantage for Auburn. And the third and final one is you're coming off a bye week. That's it. I don't know if there's an on-field advantage for Auburn in this football game. Georgia has issues. They have deficiencies.
The night game, but Auburn has to be good at home. When's the last time Auburn beat a ranked team in Jordan-Hare Stadium? When was
last year? It'd be A&M. Wasn't A&M ranked?
God, that shouldn't count. Auburn had a 20-point lead and blew it and had to win in 4 overtimes. That shouldn't count.
Can Cam play, Jonesy says.
No.
Here's what I'm saying with this. Georgia has deficiencies. They are not a perfect team by any means, by any stretch of imagination. They have some issues. We talked about not trusting Texas's offensive line. I don't trust a Hugh Freeze-led offense to take advantage of those issues and those miscues. So I think Georgia doesn't have to even play a clean game to win this one. Now, am I naive enough to sit here and say they can't go in there and lose that game? No, I'm not. I understand if Auburn finally puts it together, it can definitely happen. But what do we always say on this show? Something would have to change about Auburn's offense, a complete 180, for me to pick the Tigers. I'm picking Georgia to win and cover. I think it's going to be a solid road win, and we'll see what happens in the wee hours of Sunday morning over there in Auburn, Alabama. Before we go to you, Will, because you're amped up, I know that. Ralph, your thoughts? Do you agree? What do you think about those advantages? Do you think there's an on-field advantage for Auburn? Seriously, because I don't.
I mean, if there was a position I would choose for Auburn to have an advantage in, it's the only thing I got is receivers. And that's
but you got to have a quarterback that can throw you the football.
That's what I'm getting to. It's like you have to have somebody who can get them the ball.
Yeah,
and I don't think they have that. And I've seen it, in practice. We've seen it all year long. Just run the ball, please. Commit to the run. You have some talented running backs back there. You believe your offensive line can run block at least. You don't have confidence in them pass blocking. For one, your left tackle can't hear, and you're playing in one of the loudest environments in the country, and you're about to say, "Oh, he can't hear." Why is that now a thing? Why is it we were going into week 7 and now we're finding out that the left tackle has a hearing issue? I remember I was sitting there Monday. I sent there a text, and the only thing I wanted to see was Will respond with, "You got to be kidding me," because it's that's how everyone felt in that room. There's no way that's the answer. Bryce, to answer your question though, I have no faith in anything on field for Auburn to have an advantage in. It has to do with the home game at night, Cam Newton's retirement, and then the swag surf at the beginning of fourth quarter. That's about all I got there. I'm taking Georgia to win this outright. I think they win by 10 or more. I don't think Auburn's going to have a chance.
Only 10?
10 or more.
So you think Georgia could win 10-0?
Yes.
I don't know if Auburn is going to get past the 50. I don't. And I don't think Georgia's defense is very good.
If Auburn has to kick a field goal, I have no confidence in that either. From what I've seen this year, I don't feel there's not a position group where I'm sitting here like, if they're the reason Auburn wins this game, or if they had to put the team on that one position group to win the game, I have no confidence in that.
All right, we're taking Georgia to cover. Will, hopefully dial-up doesn't screw you over here. Let's what you got for us?
I just want to know what the largest alternate line for Georgia you can bet, because you should bet it. This Auburn team is incapable of scoring points. They're incapable of putting a drive together. I mean, all they can do is hope the defense finds a way to score, because this offense can't do it. I have zero trust in Auburn offensively. But, this is a big game, and Auburn had a bye week, so Hugh Freeze probably actually did some work in the last 2 weeks and is going to figure out a way to keep this game close like he did 2 years ago with Peyton Thorne at quarterback when Auburn probably wins that game if Brock Bowers is not a cyborg for Georgia. I have little to no confidence. Like I said, I don't know if Auburn's going to be able to score any points. I don't know if I would bet Auburn's team total over 3.5. Much less the spread being 3.5. I don't know what the people in Vegas have been watching. I don't get it. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Jonesy says if Kentucky scored on Georgia, Auburn can. Well, Kentucky has better offense than Auburn, so that's going to be hard for Auburn to do. And Georgia's defense isn't great. The front seven is not very good. Their secondary is, you'd probably say they're bad, mediocre at best. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Auburn doesn't have a clue how to do anything on offense.
Let me ask you this. What would have to happen for Auburn to win? Like, what is the recipe to win this game?
A defense is going to have to snap some femurs or something and keep Georgia from scoring. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Stop listening to the coaches, which is what I said the players should have been doing in the spring. Because, I mean, how can you go all week and not be a part of game planning and then go try to call plays? I don't know how that works. How does that work anywhere? That doesn't work at any level of football.
Self-evaluation.
Nobody knows what that means. Nope. Hugh did say he spent some time over the bye week by himself. I bet you he broke 75 spending that afternoon by himself. I'm sure he was on the golf course.
I'll be honest. I'll give you an honest answer here.
Can we put that on the screen?
Yeah, might as well.
What is that?
To give him an answer here, I think Auburn's going to have to somehow get the ball rolling with the run game. I think you have. Yeah. It's Auburn. I know. Well, I know you don't want to hear it, but if we're going to give an honest answer, you have to run the ball. Not this.
I'm tired of saying it. I've said it for 6 weeks.
I'm tired of seeing the stat line in the game. Jeremiah Cobb, Damari Alston, 4 or 5 carries each. Jackson Arnold, 14, and most of them were sacks. Yeah, Tripp's right. They need 15 players on the field. That's what it is. That's what they need. They need to have a disadvantage on the field.
So, and Dr. Bob's comment, for Auburn to win, Georgia has to turn the ball over, and Auburn has to take advantage of a very suspect Georgia secondary. Xavier Atkins intercepted a pass in the third quarter against Texas A&M, and the return was more yards than Auburn had as an offense the entire second half. Auburn cannot move the ball. They are incapable of moving the ball.
Another one is, and I'll stop it here, Will, and if you want one more, you can keep going. Limit the penalties. You have to limit the penalties.
Well, there's going to be 85 false starts.
It's been the killer this year.
Lineman that can't hear.
Look, it's been a killer all year long. It's been a killer the last 2 weeks, especially. Obviously, go back to Oklahoma and A&L, obviously, but you got to limit the penalties for one. You can't have, like Will said, you can't have the false starts. That's been killing you, putting you in second and third and long, and then you're trying to run a draw play at the middle for some weak 1 or 2 yard gain, and you're punting again, and your punter's going to drop the ball again, like you did against Oklahoma.
Georgia has the better offense. Georgia has the better defense. Georgia is by far the better coached team. I said it in April. Auburn will have to succeed in spite of the coaches, and I think it's time for the offensive players to start going rogue. Just huddle up, which they're not supposed to do anyway, and draw up plays like old school backyard football, because whatever the coaches are telling them is not working.
I could see a realistic ending to this game being 37-10. Georgia.
Oh my God!
I don't think Auburn's going to find the end zone. I mean, that's got to be a pick six.
I'm saying that's a realistic ending this game could have.
Well, can I say something real quick? Matt says UGA isn't invisible. Well, they might not be invincible, but they will be able to be seen on the field in some capacity on Saturday.
Maybe Auburn can get a couple first downs, and Hudson.
Well, Xavier Chaplin is deaf; he's not blind, so they'll be able to see.
Well,
what's happening out there.
I want to know Is Aaron Murray calling this game? Because I will refuse to watch it.
No, it's ABC game, isn't it?
Greg McElroy. That's almost worse.
Oh.
It's got to be better than Murray. Murray's on there and hate watch the Auburn Tigers.
So is Greg McElroy.
Yeah, but at least it's not. He's not playing his former team.
I think McElroy's a better broadcaster than Murray, though. Just objectively.
Absolutely. If Murray calls a Georgia game, it's a hate watch, no matter what it is.
Well, for Auburn to score a touchdown, they're going to have to maybe get 2 first downs and then get a good bounce on a punt and pin Georgia inside the 5. And then Keldrick Falk is going to have to just knock the ball out of Gunnar Stockton's hands and fall on the ball in the end zone. I mean, that's –
Oh, God.
Well, I will say this. Georgia, the thing that concerns me, this game's going to get out of hand if Georgia establishes the run, because it's going to allow Gunnar Stockton to get so comfortable. It's going to allow an offensive line that necessarily isn't great. They've been okay. It's going to allow them to establish confidence, there early.
I can't even read that.
Bottom line, I want to ask you this, Will. Auburn, we're all taking Georgia to win and cover. Is there a change in leadership on Sunday?
Only 2 Sundays too late.
A lot going on.
Yeah, I mean,
for you, it's about a 365 days too late. But
that was kind of the rumor during the bye week. There's a lot of support to give DJ Durkin a shot, and the talk was Hugh Freeze has to beat Georgia, which I think is an insane, impossible, just ultimately unfair on him. I mean, I've been critical of him, but I mean, to come out and say that, I mean, you're playing the 3rd top 10 team in a row, a team that Auburn has lost to 9 straight times, and you say, oh, he has to win it or he's fired. I mean, why are you waiting 2 weeks if you're going to put that ultimatum on somebody? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it gets better, because I don't think Auburn wants the transfer portal to open up, because I think you'll see number 8 play his last game for Auburn. You'll see number 1 play his last game for Auburn. You'll see number 15 play his last game for Auburn, although he won't transfer. He'll probably go pro. But I mean, what's the point?
He's a first round grade, so I'd hope so he'd leave.
Yeah.
Auburn. Do they even have a shot? We don't think so. All right, let's get to Preston's comment here real quick.
Hold on. How many times we got to address this? Auburn has more money than Alabama.
I just wanted to talk about the injury report that came out about this game. Well, it's fine. Like, Auburn has Horatio Fields and Darrell Robinson out. That's it. That's the only ones they have out.
What's Georgia got?
Ethan Barber, Taylor Taylor, Malachi Tolliver, and Thomas Blackshear are all out. Questionable is Monroe Freeling and Ernest Green III.
Could be an opportunity.
I bet you those 2 questionable guys play every snap.
I think Monroe Freeling will play. That's my bet.
He came back in that game against Kentucky, I think, toward the end. But he was.
Well, and then Kirby said on Monday it's not as serious as they thought it was.
Yeah.
So, Preston's comment here real quick. Great question, Preston. Thanks for watching and asking. Bryce, who wins in a cage fight, Zach Nagy or Matt Bruni? Zach has probably the physical superiority over Bruni. It's hard when you're the Lucky Charms character walking around. But I think the biggest thing is I think Bruni's pretty scrappy. He plays a lot of tennis. He's got good agility side to side. I've never seen Zach in any type of athletic capacity. So I'm going to go with Bruni with some pot shots early on. I'm going to wear Zach down. That's where I'm going to go with that. So thank you for tuning in.
I'd take Bruni too. I think he's scrappy the way he acts.
You have to be when you're 3'2". I mean, you just have to do that.
You have to when you're arguing with Shea Dixon the entire night.
That's the good God. What a time to be alive. All right. Section 103 is never going to get fired on Sundays, though. You can wear them on Sundays on the golf course and whatever you want to do. Georgia Tech and LSU. They've also added Georgia Southern and Kennesaw State merchandise. Make sure that you check them out. Use code TCB10 for 10% off your order today. Section 103, as comfortable or more comfortable than the club seats. Okay, let's dive into the next SEC game. I'm just going to cut straight to the chase here. Alabama at Missouri. A lot of people talking about it. I think Cole Kubelik tweeted it out that Alabama is in a unique opportunity where they've got to face a third straight ranked team, 2 out of 3 on the road. They've passed the first 2 tests. They're going to head up to Columbia. Let's start out with this. Ahmad Hardy's the best running back in college football right now. Just statistically, production-wise, what he's been able to do. Beau Pribula has been a very nice addition for Eli Drinkwitz. I like Missouri's program. I think that Drinkwitz is a good football coach. I think there's a lot of feel-good things happening up there. Where I will step out on a limb and say this, I think Alabama might just boat race Missouri out of Columbia. I do not think that – well, Missouri's secondary is not good. Let's start there. They do not have a good secondary. Ty Simpson has carved up Vanderbilt and Georgia, who have at the very minimum serviceable to average secondaries, however you want to talk about that. Missouri's secondary is not a strong suit. Defensively, they're not a team that can really get home on the quarterback a lot. I think Alabama is getting a lot of credit in terms of what Ty Simpson is doing. That offensive line is playing very, very well over the last couple of weeks coming out of the bye week when they went to Athens. I like Alabama to go on the road and cover comfortably up in Columbia, and like Ralph said earlier in the show, continue this climb back into the national title conversation. You're not just a playoff conversation, but you win this one on the road, and people are going to start really kind of ramping you up, regardless if it's worth it or not. I think Missouri's a good football team. I think they are a solid football team. I think Alabama has found an identity. Ty Simpson has a couple of notches on the belt here, and offensive line-wise, I like Alabama's offensive line in this one to protect him and allow him to have a pretty nice day through the air. So I'm taking the Crimson Tide. Will, lead us off with your second favorite team in the country.
I think Alabama's very overrated. I think Ty Simpson is overrated. It's just my opinion. Under Kalen DeBoer, Alabama has had a tendency to play up to their competition and play down to their competition. I think on paper that they are better than Missouri. I think there's a reason why this spread is only 3.5. Third-ranked team in a row. That's tough. Tough to deal with going on the road. It's tough to deal with early kick. It's going to be an issue. And just historically, Alabama tends to, at least under DeBoer, the last year and a half, play down to their competition. I think Alabama's going to win. I think they'll cover, but it's going to be very close. Very close.
Ralph, what you got?
I said it earlier. I think Alabama's obviously, played pretty well the last few weeks. That's been obvious. The play of Ty Simpson has improved per week. Getting Jam Miller back has been a huge improvement to this offense. We saw it last week against Vanderbilt, over 100 yards and a touchdown. He was they didn't really use him a lot against Georgia. They didn't really have to. But he was back there and he was a problem. He's a problem when he's on the field. I like Jam Miller. I think he's been the main missing piece this offense has been, obviously. And when you have talent like Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, and Ryan Williams, you don't need to have some elite running backs, but you have 2 pretty solid running backs you can go back to. And then when it's fourth and short, you just hand it to your left tackle for a 1-yard gain for some reason. It's just they're an explosive offense. They beat you senseless. Honestly, it's if you're a Vanderbilt fan last week, it was probably hard to watch that game because it was just over and over, just constant, just beating you because it felt like their defense was getting after Pavia the entire game. Obviously, Justin Jefferson's been a freak of nature in this defense this year. I go back to is it Bray Hubbard is his name? I almost called him something else.
Yeah.
Bray Hubbard. Obviously that week 1 against Florida State where he's just jogging across the field. He's obviously stepped his game up since then. He's played a lot better, really well lately. I mean, I'm happy he's improved because that was you got a lot of hate for that. You got a lot. I can tell right now if that was Saban coaching that thing, he wouldn't have played the rest of the year. That's a guy who Saban would not let step on the field for that kind of performance. I like Alabama in this game. I think what you said is true. They run them out of their stadium. Missouri's good. They got good pieces, but they hadn't really been, like I said, they hadn't been tested this year. They played a South Carolina team that was kind of been banged up, and like you said, I don't trust that secondary. 300 yards against South Carolina through the air. I think Alabama just kind of toys with them for a while and then wins late in the game by about 2 touchdowns or 3.
Buddy, you talked about the 300-yard passing game against South Carolina. Lenore Sellers sat in the pocket and spun it on you.
Yeah.
Lenore Sellers is a really good quarterback.
Obviously.
But, man, with the receiving talent, Alabama has the best receiving talent that Missouri has seen and probably the best offensive line. I don't think Ty Simpson has to be special. And I said that in the preseason, and we're seeing that. Like, he doesn't have to be a Heisman Trophy winner. He might win it because of the talent that helps around him, but to me, it's one of those things.
That shouldn't be a Heisman Trophy winner.
Well, I mean, what would you?
Mac Jones or Jake Coker? That's what he is. He's not generational. He's a good quarterback. He's not generational.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's good.
Generational.
He's definitely good, but he's going to be thrust up there
because
because of what the award means now.
Best player to the team.
So Jeremy Bernard should win it.
But you know as well as we know, you got to do something stupid as a receiver to go win the Heisman Trophy.
He ran for what? He caught 1,800 yards and 20-something touchdowns that year?
Something ridiculous.
Bernard would probably do that.
No.
What is Bernard at right now?
25 catches, 392 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Couldn't tell you, don't care.
Well, let me ask you this, and I know where we're going to go with this. What do you think Alabama is rated? Like, what would make them overrated? What in your mind makes them overrated? Do you think they're bad? Do you think they're?
Oh, I think they're okay.
Well, what's the definition of an okay
team?
Like, I think an okay team's a top 60 team in the country.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably say they're somewhere in the teens nationally.
I'm interested on your definitions of good, great, elite, and everything. Then,
who? Give me like 3 elite teams.
Who's 3 elite teams in college football? Right?
Nobody's elite.
Okay. Who's great? We're saying the great's like right below elite.
I'd say Ohio State.
I know Navy's in there somewhere.
I'd say Oregon is great.
You can stop there.
Yeah. I think those are the 2 great teams.
He wanted to say Navy.
No,
I think those are. I would say those are 2. Well, Miami. Yeah, Gavin's saying Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
Those are the. I mean, we've talked about that's the 3 clear-cut top 3 teams in the country.
Yeah.
Do you think Alabama's head and shoulders above Georgia?
No.
I know they played each other. I understand that, but
No.
Okay. Do you think Alabama's head and shoulders above Texas Tech?
No.
That's a hard comparison, I know, of it, because it's no common opponents or anything like that.
And they're 2 stylistically very different. I think that game would be a shootout. I think Texas Tech would drag Alabama into a shootout. I think they're that good offensively.
Do you think Alabama is – here's interesting. You think Alabama's head and shoulders better, like clears easily – I'm trying to go into the next tier in the SEC. And we'll see it. Well, okay, I'll say this. I don't think Alabama is head and shoulders better than Vanderbilt. And I don't think Vanderbilt's a bad football team.
No.
I think Vanderbilt's just solid football. Alabama's a solid football team. Like they're a solid, good football team.
But
and I'll say this too, if they win this game, it doesn't, for me, make them amazing.
We've made it too easy to make the postseason.
Oh, well, most definitely, yeah.
So that's why they're overrated.
That's a good one, Christian. Is Alabama head and shoulders better than Ole Miss?
No, but I think they would beat Ole Miss. I think
head and shoulders
that's
better
a
than
bad
A&M.
matchup. No, I think A&M would beat Alabama.
And that's 2 games we don't get to see this year.
Sucks.
Thanks, Greg Sankey.
All right. That's the end of the SEC games. Let's talk Big Ten games as a whole real quick before we get to the final part of the show. This is a separation kind of weekend. You have a bunch of Big Ten battles on tap here. Obviously, College Game Day with where it's at. But I guess with what we know about the Big Ten right now, is this just a 3-team race? Yeah. A 3-team race to the title game between your 4th is Illinois, if Illinois wins this weekend?
Yep. But, yeah, this is a separation weekend.
Well, it's do or die for Illinois, in my opinion.
You didn't want to use that term, but I think this is a separation weekend in the Big Ten for sure.
Yeah. Within the big, no doubt about it. Illinois loses this, it's going to be very hard for them to get into the title game. I think this is between Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana. And I just want to talk about it. Like, I'm excited to watch on my computer the Indiana
Oregon second half.
I know the whole game, right? It's a night game?
It's 3:30.
3:30? Oh, well. Well, anyways, this game, I mean, you talk about stylistically different.
Yeah.
This is where it gets like something has to give in this game. Indiana, I think, and this is an opportunity for Fernando Mendoza, who has been very, very good for Indiana this year. Like, he's been better than Curtis Rourke last year in terms of what he offers. Probably is not getting enough Heisman love in terms of that, too.
He might be the first quarterback drafted in April.
Potential's going to play out and someone's going to take back.
Traits.
Nussmeier's going to get up there because his daddy ball is going to have the number 2 pick, and they'll take him down here in New Orleans.
If he's drafted number, he's not better than Rattler.
Oh, good Lord.
He's not better than Jake Hayner. No, I'm
1 in
just kidding.
10.
That's a lie.
1 in 10. Spencer
1 in
Rattler.
10. So this game in Eugene, I think Dante Moore's really good. I think Dan Lanning is a top 5 head coach in college football. He just hasn't won the big game in terms of the national title or a championship game yet.
Energy.
Well, you can. You just have to go south of Victory Drive to find it. I think in terms of what you've got here with this, God, I want to see Indiana win this game. I love everything about Dan Lanning in Oregon. But, man, Indiana winning this game, I don't know. What do you guys think about the Big Ten battle? Like, what to you? We'll start with you, Ralph, because Will's – talk about some energy. Will's got some energy happening over his internet. We've been having to deal with this. It's crazy. Jonesy's stroking out in the chat, so we don't know what's happening over there.
That's not surprising at all. Either.
But Will, I guess Ralph, for you, the Big Ten battles, like it's a separation Saturday. Illinois loses to Ohio State. Their season is, in terms of playoff, it looks really bleak. Ohio State's got a challenge, but man, Indiana, Oregon to me is, God, that's a fun one. That's a fun game.
Yeah, I like you like everything about Indiana. I like everything about Oregon, dude. I really do. I'm a big Dan Lanning guy. I feel like he's been the right guy they brought in there.
Ralph's been down to south of Victory Drive. That's why he's a big Dan Lanning guy.
I was close to it. No, I wasn't close to it today. But I think Dan Lanning was the right choice at head coach for them. That's if you don't agree with that, I'm sorry. You had not watched Oregon play in the last 3 years.
Tell them they're just pants on head. That's what they are.
Pants on head, rigatoni looking okay. But like Dante Moore, obviously, kind of waited his turn to get to this job, and the quarterbacks they've had, obviously Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, top tier quarterbacks in college football the last few years, and Dante Moore is just the next one up. They bring some transfers, obviously, and the defense looks as good as it has been the last few years. Offense is looking better. I just like this the way they play their game. It's very simple. They don't make Dante Moore think too much back there. It's kind of helping him control the game through his own kind of ability. Obviously, what Dan Lanning brings is the more defensive mind, and he's fired up, dude.
Yeah,
go watch some of that Penn State preview. Like when he's standing there in the tunnel and they're all saying, we are. When he said right there,
God, that's awesome.
I was ready to strap on for him and ready to go play some football too. It's been pretty impressive watching him coach there. I like Oregon in this game. I have a lot of respect for Cignetti and what he's done there in just a year and a half, and what he's done here throughout his entire college career. But it's a hard place to play in Autzen. It really is. That's a loud stadium, and that's a fan base that's going to get rowdy for this game. They know that Indiana's been talking, and I'm ready to play. I'm ready to watch this game.
That was good stuff, Ralph. Ralph, that really was good, but I knew when you said that it was going to be picked up by somebody. I knew that.
Address the allegations.
Will, I want to talk about this game because the guy in the background, and if they make the playoff, hats off to him because he's the one who's been high on them. USC and Michigan play, and that's kind of, I guess, the overlooked game in the Big Ten this weekend because you've got Justice Haynes, who has 100-plus yards in all 5 of the games for Michigan this year. Michigan's led by, obviously, the defense. led by a running game, true freshman quarterback. There's already been some yapping back and forth between Sharon Crybaby Moore, and Lincoln Riley. Lincoln, I'm scared of competition, Riley. So it's two guys that get in their feelings and are going to be able to battle on the field. Either of these teams, can they creep back seriously into this race, in your opinion, or creep into this race?
I'd have to check the schedules. But off the top of my head, I would say it would be Michigan if they win this, just because knowing what they have down the road compared to what USC has down the road. I think what USC has down the road, USC, you can't bank on a win against Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is, for some reason, the AP poll thinks they're still top 25 team, but nobody else does. I think this game will be interesting. Two completely different styles. I think Michigan's going to go out west and beat USC. I just think they're too physical for USC. Lincoln Riley's teams, just finesse teams. When they go up against physical teams, they really struggle. Saw that with Illinois. The consensus was that they would go into Champaign and blow out Illinois, and they lost. So, the Big Ten is far from over. Far from over. And just to touch on Illinois, Ohio State, took a peek at Illinois' schedule. Based off the current rankings, Illinois does not play another ranked team the rest of the year. So if they lose, I think they're done.
To your point about opportunities, USC would still have a road trip to Notre Dame, which it would be a ranked win. And they've got a road trip to Eugene that almost comes, in terms of recency bias, would come in really handy, because that's the week before. It's the second to last week of the season. So that would be something to be interesting. Michigan's schedule after this, they're going to host Washington. They're going to go to Maryland, and then they've got Ohio State. So that's kind of what you look at there, too, in terms of that. So that being said, comments wild about Will's internet tonight. It's great stuff. Big Ten battles. Okay, before we get out of here, let's talk about games to watch. Games to watch.
Everything else works. I blame StreamYard.
Games to watch. Here we go. It's going to play right in my best bet. You have two teams that are kind of desperate this weekend in LSU and South Carolina. South Carolina is about to embark on one of the most ridiculous stretches, and it's just crazy. And I love the Beamer's comments about it. I didn't shy away from it. But if South Carolina's going to do anything this year, I think they've got to come down here and win this game. On the flip side, Brian Kelly and LSU have to decide if they're going to be a playoff contender or if I need to book a trip to Charlotte for the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's pretty much what it comes down to. They can't run the ball. You have the two worst rushing offenses in the conference. By the way, shout out Blake Ruffino, episode coming out with him tomorrow. We're going to have him on every Thursday. If you took away the Southeastern Louisiana game, and I know we like to play that game or whatever, but if you took away the FCS game, LSU has the 129th rushing offense in the country. That's insane. That's embarrassing. When you think about what LSU was when we were growing up, defense and running the football, man. And they would just find some rando to play quarterback. I mean, that's what they would do. So just in terms of this, that's my game to watch. Ryan Jeez, good God. Ryan Perilou. That's my game to watch because I'll be watching it. And this just feels like one of these teams is going to be done in after this. And I'm interested to see how they would respond after. So that's my game to watch. There's another good one. I hope I'm not taking y'all's. A&M in Florida. It's kind of interesting. Did Billy Napier just save his job for a week? Does A&M blow them out? We'll see. But Ralph, what you got for us?
We got a G5 matchup in Denton, Texas, man. South Florida travels to North Texas. It's a good matchup. Friday night football. I think it's going to be one of the most underrated matchups this weekend. I think North Texas has been one of the best. This is one of the best seasons they've ever had. South Florida, obviously, with the win against Florida at the beginning of the year, and obviously getting blown up by Miami the week after that was kind of rough for them. But this is a fun match to watch. I'm excited to watch some good G5 football Friday night
and Thursday night.
Well, that's different. I'll be there for that one.
Ralph says G5. Will, where are you going?
Well, it's probably the last week that I even pay attention to college football, so I better make it a good one.
Utah State, Hawaii.
I'll be asleep. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird slate. I had one and then lost it. I don't know where it went. You know I'm the sicko, so I'm going Charlotte, travels up to West Point, taking on Army. No, no, actually.
Oh God.
I mean, I really don't know. I mean, we hit all the big games. I mean, I am lost.
No, dude, you're fine. I'm sorry, but why is Bryce Koon on this camera?
I just wanted to see what happened.
That's a sicko game, by the way. Charlotte and Army.
It's some voice.
Is there anything that can distract me at 7:30? Let's see.
Yeah,
Michigan, USC. Purdue at Minnesota. Probably be a better watch. Clemson at Boston College.
Rice at UTSA.
Kansas at Texas Tech will definitely be a better watch. So at about 7:58, when the game I start watching gets a little out of hand,
Oh my God.
I can find there's plenty of other good ones to watch.
Arkansas, Tennessee.
Yeah, Petrino's first game. Shout out Gavin there for that one.
He fired the entire staff just about.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
Don't make
crazy.
any sense.
All right, best bets. Let's rock and roll. God, I didn't see Will's until now. Navy -9.5 at Temple at Lincoln Financial. Ralph
Temple's like
going
the
with
worst team in the
Alabama -3.5 at Missouri, and I'm going with the under in South Carolina LSU at 44.5. Best bets of the week. What's the records again?
We're all tied, aren't we? Now, or am I?
I think you're ahead by one game.
I think it's about one because we all lost last week. Just straight up horrendous losses last week.
Yeah, but I've already started in preparation for losing for the punishment. I'm significantly lowering my daily caloric intake to prepare for the punishment.
It's okay. Gavin has to be there for you the entire time and film it, so it's okay.
How's Ralph 4-3? I can't be 3-3. Will, Gavin, did you not put mine up when I was sick?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, well, that one lost. So I'm 3-4.
But Dr. Bob didn't
Here's
know
to 5 straight losses.
we put we put you Gavin put it up there. It was like you were sick, so he had you some beam is wild. That's the basic Alabama internet, basically.
Well, I got to ask you this because you did text this the other day. Would you be more mad if Auburn wins in a blowout?
Yes, because Auburn will turn around and lose to Missouri and Vanderbilt. Listen, I don't know why everybody is so confused and shocked at the state of Auburn football. We've seen Hugh Freeze do this everywhere he's been. Everywhere he's been. He'll get up for a big game and win it and then just look like he's never fielded a football team before after that against somebody he should beat handily.
Oh, good grief. The comments, man. It's just Will's internet is usually really good. I can't say it's usually pretty solid some nights, but this is bad tonight.
I'll take Jeff Collins.
There's no way. There's no way.
He can't be worse than Hugh Freeze.
Will never said that. There's no shot.
No, he did.
I did.
He did. He did.
Who'd we play? Samford?
That's the best part about it. Is that Will actually said that.
I was positive for 1 week. In between week 2 and week 3 of 2024. Before that, the last time I was positive was probably week. I don't know, probably the week going into the Penn State game.
Screenshot that, please.
That's insane, dude.
That's screenshot.
That's tough, Will.
Okay, y'all have a good night.
I'm sorry.
Internet was rough. And so was Mr. Ruff. Hey, fun one tomorrow night. Ralph and I are going to be in attendance
With Dr. Bob.
for a big-time G5 game. A really good game, actually. Tulane and East Carolina, courtesy of Mr. Dr. Bob.
Yep.
My wife said, "Is Mr. Bob picking you up?" I said, "It's Doctor.
It's Dr. Bob.
It's Dr. Bob." We'll be there. We might go. We'll have a little vlog action. And next week, we're going to be announcing a fun trip in November that we're taking. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if we'll see what it is. This is the most true statement, by the way. 110%. 110%. It's actually uncanny. Like, it's actually scary how close they are. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Will, God, pray for him. Please just send a prayer his way. And
Send him some better internet. That's
convince him to live stream on Saturday. Please convince him to live stream him watching the game on Saturday.
I'm not going to be here.
Are you going to the game?
And my internet doesn't work anyway, so nobody wants to see that.
That's the best his internet's worked all night. That's what's really bad.
That was actually the best internet work he's worked all night. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, like, and continue to follow the podcast. We will catch you again on Sunday evening with a recap and a reaction of all of those. Ralph and I will actually be in the same building for that show. We got to figure out how we're going to finagle that. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching. This is the Crowded Booth.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. The Crowded Booth is coming on. The Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.